At this point, I am convinced if Donald Trump gave every American household $1 million, you guys will find a reason to hate him.
Yes, I don't know if you've seen this. The View freaked out completely about what Trump put out concerning this plane crash. Trump said something that if you have normal reasoning, you wouldn't even argue. Hire people based on merit. That is all. And that is what Trump has been doing in the past. I don't understand why, when Trump said most of these people that were higher up in these places by the Biden and Obama administration is a problem to liberals. The kind of murder and freak out I've seen on social media, it is extremely concerning.
At this point, I am convinced if Donald Trump gave every American household $1 million, you guys will find a reason to hate him. The way the left-wing media and the propaganda and the way that they have brainwashed everyday American citizen needs to be studied at this point. The lies that are being told day after day, ever since this man has taken office, is just so ridiculous. And the information can be researched and can be debunked in literally seconds. The latest lie that he cut individual Medicaid and Social Security, food stamps, and Section 8 for people is simply not true. But yet you guys still run with it and speak on it and make videos and think pieces, all because you have been trained and brainwashed to hate this man. That is some sick stuff. These leaders, this left-wing media, this propaganda, they really, really know that you guys are bots. NPCs, non-playable characters. You don't have the capacity to think for yourselves. What Trump law he does need to end is the No Child Left Behind law. Because this is the effect of just passing kids along through the school system, and they don't even know how to think or have any of the minuteness critical thinking skills. I am embarrassed and ashamed for you guys. The entire time these leaders got y'all intoxicated. I can't even call them leaders. They're not my leaders, but they're your leaders. They have you intoxicated on racism and lies. And the whole time, you are the patsy. You are the person that's being played. And the saddest part about it, you don't even know it. Shame on y'all.
If President Trump is telling us that air traffic control towers are staffed with unqualified controllers, these DEI hires who never should have been brought on, then it's not safe to fly commercially, is it?
The president was asked and answered this yesterday, and he believes that it is still indeed safe, and Americans should feel safe traveling our skies. With that said, two things can be true at the same time, and we certainly have seen the deterioration of federal hiring standards at the Federal Aviation Administration, and the president wants to increase those standards. He wants pilots in this country who have the great responsibility of flying American citizens by the tens of millions every single day to be chosen for that position based on their merit and their skills. And so the administration will continue to prioritize this.
Yes, I knew that this cackling the View will be doing this. I saw in my comment section the other day someone said, "Oh, please don't be putting the View on your videos. Please, please, please." There is something you don't understand. We need to be calling out their lies on daily basis. If they continue to spew this to their viewers, it is not good. Sometimes I don't want to react on their videos. Reason I always put out just a small part so you can see exactly what they are saying. On this issue of plane crash, this is something that I don't always like to put my mouth in. But when I look at what the View is spewing out, because Trump called out this DEI initiative that Democrats spearhead, I don't know if they actually understand what exactly Trump was saying. Because if they actually did, they would not be saying this. Watching Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg freaking out.
In fact, many of them filed a lawsuit against the FAA a couple of years ago under Joe Biden's administration because they were denied positions because of this DEI hiring practice that was putting identity politics over merit and skills. That's unacceptable. And I think just to put a fine point on this, because this is the third or fourth question I've answered on this subject, When you are flying on an airplane with your loved ones, which every one of us in this room has, do you pray that your plane lands safely and gets you to your destination, or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer to that question, and as President Trump said yesterday, it's common sense. If you are an American who has spent many years studying aviation and you graduate from school and you're an air traffic controller based on skill and merit, and then you apply for a job and you're forced to fill out a biographical questionnaire asking you the color of your skin and asking you where you're from in details that aren't relevant at all to the job description, I think that deteriorates the morale of people in this industry. And if you talk to people in this industry, they'll tell you that. In fact, many of them filed a lawsuit against the FAA a couple of years ago under Joe Biden's administration because they were denied positions because of this DEI hiring practice that was putting identity politics over merit and skills. That's unacceptable. And I think just to put a fine point on this, because this is the third or fourth question I've answered on this subject, when you are flying on an airplane with your loved ones, which every one of us in this room has, do you pray that your plane lands safely and gets you to your destination, or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer to that question, and as President Trump said yesterday, it's common sense.
Sure, if you're of the type of person who just always hates the one team and loves what the other one does, they asked him a question about the crash. And they said, will you visit the crash site? Now, every other politician would go, of course, it was a tragedy. And he went, it's the water. What do you want me to do, swim there? You know? And I was like, exactly, right. You're exactly right. It's a stupid question, and you got just the answer you deserve.
Yeah, I'm not going to dignify his remarks about DEI. I'm not going to do that. But to Anna's point, just last week, Trump fired the heads of the Transportation Security Administration and Coast Guard, and he also eliminated all the members of a key aviation security advisory group. The Aviation Security Committee will technically continue to exist, but it won't have any members to carry out the work of examining safety issues at airlines and airports. I think that is very telling, that when, voters decide that they want someone to blow things up and they want someone to blow up infrastructures, this is the result. You cannot blow up infrastructures and take people that have real experience in these types of issues and think that good things will happen because of it. So, And I will also say that his transportation secretary, Sean Duffy, said that everything was standard in the lead up to the crash. That is from his own Secretary of Transportation, who replaced Pete Buttigieg.
At commercial airports nationwide that really took off in 2023. I did a sit-down interview with Buttigieg. He was well-versed on the topic. He knew the points. He knew where the blind spots were. And the FAA and the Department of Transportation from the top down of the Biden administration was taking that problem very...
Yes, this screenshot here should tell you everything. The Biden administration knew that this was a problem, but they did nothing. I'm really asking this. Why are military aircraft training in spaces like this? It should not be happening. If you notice, I usually put short clips at the end of my videos. That is for the algorithm. You can end here. God bless you. And please, don't always forget to share the video.
It's essential.
Early on, immediately.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10 to her.
No, the EU does not treat the U.S. fairly on trade, and that he has some big complaints. Is that true?
Right? And it doesn't mean that we should sit and pretend that it's suddenly okay, that this new presidency is just going to keep on keeping on. That is not the case. And because, final point for me, a year and a half is because...
This is the United States.
You're talking about a man who didn't become the president of the United States because of merit.
This lady is not unstopped.
Where awful things have happened. So
over. And sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag
are funky in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning, and I flew here last night. I was on the plane, getting texts.
So I am evacuating my home,
enough.
What we need to do against what we know is right, and these are the results.
Some is now calling that Gavin Newsom should step down.
This is you getting water to areas that need water because there are fires in 100-mile-an-hour winds.
The situation is beyond control.
For the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking straight. Remember it.
As a country about
yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad.
I want to be,
Jim Jordan.
In the 5 tenants of
Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts.
And he did this little dance.
Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii.
And then we watch the news or talk to my friends.
Now, look, I have a lot of fear that as
I'm not going to dignify his remarks.
So now, in the wake of a national tragedy like Wednesday's fatal plane